17.6 or 7 acres, and it goes on back a good ways.
Make a good spot right there, wouldn't it?
Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Right here would be a good little field site for something.
Camper or something until you get...
Camper until we get on our feet here.
Yep.
So, looking here, got some more. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, it's cold up here. I don't know if you can see my breath. A little bit. 19 degrees this morning. Warmed up a little bit. It's up to maybe 20, 24, 25 degrees right now. But I had the idea in a past video, since it's been a year, and I was going to do this last week, but we all came down with COVID, that virus is going around. So I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which was another land tour. I wanted to show you guys a better video because a lot of you were saying in that video that it was real shaky like this, and it's hard to breathe after all that. But I want to make a better video for you guys of a land tour and show what we got and redo that video, and we'll have parts of it. At the beginning of it, it was GoPro footage, so you couldn't really hear because the thing I had, the GoPro I had, was not really for that GoPro. It was a different brand, so it was muffled out. I'll put a little bit of the clips in, like right in here somewhere, and compare it to what I'm doing now. So it's just going to be like a video of where we were when we first got the place and where we're at now. Whew. This cold's really hard to breathe up here after you had that virus, I'm telling you. But this is where the video started on the last one, so I thought I'd go ahead and show you this up here. This is the parcel that I originally wanted for myself. Right there is one of the property lines where that little orange tape is, and it goes down this way, down beside in there somewhere. And there's another orange tape right there, so it goes down that way too for the property line on this top portion. They had it perk tested a while back ago, like right over there. We're on a hill here. I'll level you guys out a little bit. Now you're level. But right over in here, they had it perk tested. There's a big old rock right there. I got plans for that later with the rock. I'm gonna go ahead and get it cleaned up with the plans I got coming with that rock, and that one. So there's three. There's two over there together. There's one right here. But this is the top portion right here. And right over this way, that's Aaron's section. I'll show you that in a second. But this is where I'm thinking about putting a house or something up here. And I'm not quite sure how far back it goes this way. I know I've mowed on down through here, but I'm not quite sure. So I need to come back in here and clean up. But like I said, there were bees right near that tree right there. And I didn't really want to get stung when I was mowing that day, so I just came as close as I could over here. This up here is a 5-acre plot. Each one of them are around 4 to 5 acres. So I'm thinking this plot goes straight back that way. So this is the plot of mine, Aaron's, and I think my aunt's, but I'm gonna move mine over that way, so I'll have this, and down beside Aaron and Julie's. So she'll have, him and her will have those two parcels right there, his, and then whatever hers is on back. So that'll be theirs. At the end of the video, I'll put a link to this land tour a year ago, where it came from, where it is now. So I'll pause a little bit every now and then, catch my breath, and probably talk a little bit, but it's rough with it being cold and just getting over that virus. I mean, it affected Dad pretty bad. He was, when he gets even the slightest cold, he gets a lung infection. So this was, if it weren't for the medications and stuff our doctor gave us, it would have been a whole lot worse on us. But that would be where the entrance would be. And get you to look this way. That's the view of where a house would be later. Maybe right out in here after I get it perk tested again and put a well and septic in somewhere up here. They said it passed the perk test, so we're good on that. So it was a pretty big parcel right up here. I mean, you can always put like a little small trailer or something on it, just to get you by until you want to build something bigger. But I'll talk more about what I want to do up here in a future video. But up past that little hill right here, that little knoll, there's the other property line that I showed you. We're gonna go and walk over to Aaron's spot. So right over here, I think to that pole, like I said, is part of our property. There's a pen. There's a pen somewhere on this side of the road, because the guy that gave me these papers that I'm going to read off to you in a little bit, he said it wouldn't be on this side, it'd be over here. So we'll walk down through there and we'll see if we can find that marker now that it's a little bit, you know, clearer on the, or we can see it, you know. So I didn't take you down this way on the last video because I didn't exactly know where the marker was. But the marker for his right here will be the same marker for ours. And that's where our land stops. So hopefully we'll find it. It's up in these weeds over in here. So there's the light pole. So that pin marker should be right in here somewhere. So I know it's not behind me. It's right up in here. I'm not quite sure exactly where. We'll have to come out here and rake it pretty good and see. I smell a skunk. Let's get out of here before we get sprayed. Oh my God. But somewhere right in here, I don't think it'd be on that side. Oh, because he said it'd be over on this side back here. But I'm pretty sure it goes from here or a little bit further on. And then that's where this marker is. It goes straight back to the marker on the other side of the road where the creek is. There's two creeks on this property. On the main portion of the property over here, there's a creek. It runs behind the cabin. Yes, there's a cabin here. If you're a new subscriber and you just said, hey, I want to check out this guy. There's a cabin. It was built by the original owner's dad. The original owner was named Spurgeon, Robinette. So they named one of the roads up here after the original owner. And it's, getting out of breath, guys. But we'll get to more of that a little bit later on in the video. Something's moving around in there. Gotta be careful because there's a big old pile of animal scat down the lane over there. This right here is what was, or what is, Aaron's portion. I didn't talk much about this one in the original video because it was cold back then too. That video was filmed in December of last year. Not last year, of 2020. It was filmed in 2020. And it was cold on December 21st, I believe it was. And I didn't talk much about this portion. But I don't have Aaron with me right now because I don't want to take the chance of him maybe being up here and me being still sick. I'm not sure. But it's cold up here. That breeze just cuts you to the bone. But he's done told what he wants to do here. He wants to clear it out a little bit, flatten it off a little bit more, put him a little house, a little garden area. It's relatively flat right here, just like that one up there. So he claimed this part. He wants to go and do his dream right up here, and his mom will be on down below. There's one of the shacks on the property. It's got, I think, let's see, one, that's like a wood shed right here. That's a wood shed. I'll show you that in a minute. Got a shack down there that we call the light or not because it's got a symbol on there. I'll talk more about it when we get to it. From here up, that's Aaron's parcel. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Aaron is my cousin. So while I'm doing this video, I'll do an introduction of cast and characters of my channel. So if you don't know, my name is Gary. My family calls me Junior, so if you hear somebody say, "Hey Junior," Aaron says it a lot. So my name is Gary Jr. My dad's name is Gary. He just started him a channel with my mom. Her name's Geraldine. So their channel's name, we had a laugh over this the other night. So their channel name is Chubsy and Ubsy's Mountain Life. They're going to be up here before me, I believe. But they're filming for theirs down there. That's why I said I want to come up here and just do another land tour. And just be with you guys for a little bit and tell you a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on here. So I really don't know how much is left on this battery. Not battery, the battery's fine, just charged it. I don't know how much is left on the SIM card in here. A SIM card. Oh my God, I can't think today. I don't know how much is left on the memory card for the camera, so. We'll try to do this quick. Another property line is right there behind that house. Goes off that way and across the road. I'm not going to walk this way to it, but we'll walk down this lane right here. I found some, I don't know what kind of doo-doo it is, but it's around this rock somewhere. Hope I don't step in it. It's a big pile. There it is. There must be something big coming through here because, good God. That's not David's dogs. We got a neighbor up here named David. His dogs didn't put that out, so I don't know what that is or where it came from. And we can go up through here. Just a little tiny trail. There's a stone wall that goes kind of right up through here. I'm not quite sure exactly what that is, but it's a real funny story. Right over here, when we first got the property, me and my mom was walking this little trail, and I came over here to check, see what was behind that right there. I said, let me check that. As soon as I went over to it, a darn rabbit shot out over there across where them cinder blocks are and just took off across the road. Tell you one thing, I went back this way And I made it to that little shack, the fire, or the wood shack. I made it in a hurry. So, I think my dad's over here burning some stuff, and so is my mom. So, we'll come over here and we'll look at this shack and some of the, come over here and look at this shack and some of the stuff that's going on over here. We are burning some of it. Okay, that doo-doo's up there. We thought about doing that, just burning it, getting rid of some of it, because it's rotten, it's no good. Now some of these, we are gonna try to make use out of some of the 4x4s. It's the guy that owned it after Robinette. I think his name was Poteet. When Poteet owned this property, he worked at a hotel, wasn't it?
No, he didn't work he went around 2 motels. You know, whenever they shut them down and all that. I think they said he went around getting the wood and stuff, you know.
Yeah, and
out of it.
He pretty much hoarded anything he could get. We got lights over here, some old lights. You got a TV over there, old table. I think that table's kind of holding up this shack and that tree. So as we're pulling stuff out of here, right, Dad, we're being as careful as we can. And then Dad had the brilliant idea of when we go to burn some of these stumps, like I said in the past video, he's cleared out a lot here. But with these stumps, we're going to take this fire ring and set around it, and then just light the stump on fire and let it burn down to the roots.
Yeah, put a lot of wood around it, and then burn it down to the roots, and then go to the next one.
Yeah, so I'm going to get back on my land tour, but I did plug your channel a little bit earlier. You're filming too today, right?
Yep.
So I did get it right. It's Chubsy and Ubsies. we had a good laugh on this. Mountain Life.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna give it a shot.
They're gonna try it out. My aunt still got her channel going. I'm helping her with that. Dad got his computer. He knows how to do the editing stuff. He's got the software, and he knows how to do that. So we're all using pretty much the same laptop to do all of ours. So to do 2 of them at least. I hear a woodpecker. But I'm gonna go show you some other shacks before I run out of memory card. I'll let Dad get back to filming his stuff. So we'll walk on down through here. And if you have watched our old video, you'll see that it looks totally different down through here. This lane looks different. It's wider. I took the tractor down through and widened it out. I flattened that little hill down a little bit. Still need to go back over it. We cut out a bunch of trees right in here. We want to keep this one, and I'm thinking about keeping the ones that kind of look like that. I think this one's a dogwood. I'm thinking it's this one, and that one's a dogwood. I want to keep those. I really don't want to cut down dogwood tree. I'm thinking, my aunt ain't up here. I know one of them's a dogwood. I know we got a lot of walnuts. Black walnut trees. We got a bunch of them, don't we, Mom?
Yep.
Mom's doing a lot of burning today. She's trying to get all this stuff that we cleared up over here, trying to get it burned up. I'm gonna take you down to one of the shacks. Here's 3 of the shacks. Here's some more of the stuff we gotta burn up. It's cold out here. My hands are about froze. I need to go in for a minute and rest, and then I'll come back out here and finish this. But after we look at these shacks, I think Robinette had the middle shack done himself. I think he built that, and then Poteet built onto the sides. There's really nothing much in there except junk. All kind of junk in there. Oh Lord. We got a few records out of here. There's all kind of stuff in here. This looks like old radios. Look, that's old radios. And that looks like a little old speaker right there. I'm not quite sure what's in these boxes. Probably a bunch of old hickory stickers. Not stickers. If any of you remember the old hickory coveralls, you pull them over and they snap and they got them. It says Old Hickory on the back. Poteet would collect anything that he could get his hands on. So he got, oh, I ran into a tree. So he would collect all that. And that lighter knot shack down there, we got out 4 or 5 boxes full. I mean, slap full of old hickory iron-on patches. So if I can find some, I'll show you. But it's a lot. Here's the cabin. Let's see what the degrees is right now. Whew. 30 degrees, guys. 30. Let's see, there we go, 30 degrees. And it's only 11. So let's go on in here. It's more or less a storage area right now. But we did clean up a little bit in this area back here. We boarded up some of the stuff. And we're going to try to make this, we're going to try to make it work. I mean, we've tried a lot of stuff in here. And you got to watch it right here, guys. Watch your head. I've hit my head countless times. And like I said before, this right here, this scared me in the old video. They didn't have these blinds up. My mom, I hope you can have some good lighting in here, but my mom and my dad and my aunt put these 3 blinds up just so they can have a little privacy in here. This is where we used to sit and drink our coffee about, you know, last winter time. We sat in here and drank all our coffee and stuff like that. Down right in here, I'm not quite sure. I hope you guys can see, but it's old bookcases and looks like it was. Ooh, that is. Oh, that floor ain't too sturdy, but I really wish that I could show you with the lights and stuff on, but it's hard to get light in here without hooking everything up and all that. But well, got a little red right here coming from. Not quite sure where that's coming from. Oh, reflected off the truck. Okay, watch your head, guys. There's the loft area. You can go. Oh, excuse me. You can go upstairs. Robinette used to sleep upstairs. Sorry, I was getting some off my hand. Robinette, the guy that used to own this cabin, would sleep upstairs. And he must be more strong-willed than I am, because when it's cold, I really don't want to stay in something like that. But it's a nice cabin. The chimney's a little bit wavering from what it was. It's got a nice little porch. We've done a little bit to it. We're trying to stouten this up, and I'm thinking it's rough stoutening it up. Let me point you guys out this way. There's another little lane that goes down through here, and then there's the creek right over there. I'll take you there in a minute. And there's another creek right behind the cabin. Oh, look at the view. And yes, we cut down most of the dead stuff that was on this apple tree. Hopefully, it'll still produce. We'll see if it'll still produce or not. If it does and it produces well, we'll keep that. But we're gonna have to climb, guys, to get to the apples. So I know what kind of tree it is. I think it's an ambrosia apple. It's a paradise apple, whatever kind that is. You can see right through here, something's been cleaned out. I think Mom or Dad cleaned that out. That's a little parking area that they used to park in. I got a picture, actually right here, I'll show it to you. That is Robinette right there, Spurgeon Robinette. And then it pretty much took right where I'm standing. So he was sitting right here. So I'll put these back up for a little bit, and then we'll go down to the creek down there. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. Don't want the camera shaking. I'm gonna put that back up. We'll go down to the creek after we do a little tour around the back of the cabin. And here's a little porch area. It's had a few modern conveniences over time, but when it was built in the, I want to say, late 1800s. So it's going on 200 years, or a little over 200 years old. They built houses back then to last. So here's the back part of it. It's a nice little cabin. I'll show you a better view from it. The other side. A little crawl space we got to go in there and clean out. That's where that bookcase and stuff is back there. And I'm thinking, you got to watch out right here, guys. Watch out right there. But I'm thinking this was more of an add-on. A little bit later, this is the older part of the cabin. You can tell by the way the logs were laid in and the spacings in between them. It has shifted a good bit. This rubble right here is from the chimney falling. It had failed before we bought the place, so the only thing really holding it up now is that part of the chimney. But see if I can get you a better view of some of the cabin. Here's the back side of the cabin, and I did learn that right in here used to be an add-on. They had like a kitchen area on this side, but for some reason they took it down or something. So, and fun fact that David actually told me, the original owner, I think his son, wrote his initials into the fireplace mantle right over here, or on the front side over there. I'm not quite sure, but I think he meant this side. But a lot of stuff's changed about around the cabin. I know we're building that area in front of it. It's going to be moved. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, how is he going to move that? Let's walk down through here. It's where we were cleaning up a while back ago. There's some of the creek. I'll take you down to it in a minute. I'll take you down to a better part of the creek in a second. But this is the lighter knot shack that we talked about. That, what's his name? Poteet, I guess, worked at a place called the Lighter Knot. We found a lot of receipts in the attic of the cabin that said, you know, Lighter Knot. And it was actually a company. We built these steps to go up in there and see how it's doing. This is going to be our next big project. I fell through right there. Took those out. And then that sign I got to get off of there, because we're going to redo this whole thing. You can see it's warped. It's ready to come down. I think Poteet built this one. This wasn't originally on here. What we thought was the butter churn in the last one, my dad got excited over. There's actually some kind of wheel or something. I'm not quite sure what that is. But you got a little desk over there. You got a bunch of these doors. I want to get one of these doors right here. And for that goat pin that I made. Oh, gotta be careful coming down here. My nose is running here. I want to get some of those. Get at least maybe one of these doors over here. I think that brown one right there, between those two white ones. I'll get that one, and I'll put that on the goat little barn thing that made out back. Now down through here is where we found some evidence of some stuff. We had found, let's see, bunch of sugar bags, and we found a bunch of pots, pans, like little tin cans, and we had a theory that somebody was doing something here. The owners before us or the ones before that, I'm not quite sure, but there was sugar bags everywhere. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but we found some sugar bags right here, and then on up through there. Well, I'm gonna take you back in there in a minute, but here's some of the creek. It's not really flowing right yet, but you can see the water in it. We are gonna clean it out, and on back in here, we are gonna widen it, and I'm hoping to make a pond. So hopefully we'll do that. A little hot. The sun's warming up. It's up to 30 degrees now. 2 more and we will be above or right at freezing. So as long as the wind's not blowing, I'm great. So we'll go on up through here. My aunt had planted some trees. There's one. That one right there's one. And she planted, let's see, what does that smell? I'm getting a weird smell. Not quite sure what it is. Probably something they're burning up there. Yeah, because the smoke's coming down the hill. But she planted an apple tree. I think it's apple. No, it's a peach tree, I think. She planted that. She planted, might have been an apple and a peach tree. I have to call her tonight and ask her. But plant some muscadines, which are between the 2 trees, or somewhere right in here. But this is her little parcel, and Aaron's is right up there. So it comes back, straight back that way, and up the mountain a little ways. And she planted another, I think it's a dogwood, right there it is, right in there. Between those 2 big trees. So we're gonna walk up in here, and I'm a little nervous walking around in here right now because I don't know what left that scat up there. I don't have my gun with me today, so I'm not gonna go too far in here, but I will go as far as I did in the last video, or the previous video of the land tour. You can tell there's some trails right through here. Goes on back that way. I'm not quite sure where the pin is, so I don't know how far out to go. But there's a lot beside us that's about 8 acres, I think, or 5, 8 acres. And then there's another 80 on back that way that David owns. So David and his family. They're really good people. I think it's 80. If I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure that if they're watching, they'll let me know. But this right here is some of Julie's and some of mine's over that way. I'm going to clean all that off. I'm not going to go too far back in there. But we're going to clean most of this off. I was hoping to get it logged. But if we're going to fix up the cabin, we want to take some of the straight trees and use them. There's something over there. I thought it was another shack, but it's actually a fallen tree. That'd be something if there's another shack back in there. But look at the cabin from over here, guys. Alright, I will cut you guys off until I get down to the creek. The creek on this side ain't the big one, but I'll show you the creek on this side. Actually, no, let's go over here. There's a spring box. And if you don't know what they used to use a spring box for, they would put stuff in there, and that's where they get some of their water and all that. And it'll stay kind of cold, so they put some of their perishables in there. So this spring box was here since Robinette. I don't know if it was from the Robinette's dad or it was from the last Robinette that owned the place. I'm not quite sure if it was his dad or him that put the spring box in. But we're gonna take a little walk over there to the spring box and we'll check it out. I'm thinking this year I'm not gonna do the garden here. I'm not gonna do the garden right here in this area. I really need to be up here full time before I can do the garden here. So I'm gonna do a small garden again, just at the house, little small things. And I had better luck in that soil I had at the house because I put all the animal stuff in it. But let's go across the creek here to this spring box. There's a spring box. It's been here for a good while. I don't know if you can see it bubbling up over there, but it comes down through here and feeds into the creek, which is right there. So this spring box has been here for a good while. So you can you hear it? A little trickle of water flowing down that way to the small creek on the property. I just felt like whispering. I thought that moment we should whisper. So, oh Lord, darn crawdad's about to make me fall. So let's see if I can get across this thing without me busting my butt. Looks like it'd be an easy cross right here. We'll just jump over there if I still got it. Here we go. Now I'm gonna cut you guys off till I get to the other part of the small creek. This is a lane that we brought the camper up. And I'm gonna try to take you guys down there as smoothly as I can by walking. So, right down there is where we put that gate. Way down there. It's over that way and around the corner a little. We put the gate there, and then you can listen. Can y'all hear the water? Can you hear it, guys? That just sounds so peaceful. I got a hammock that I'm pretty sure that I can put right in this area in the summertime and just feel at ease. Or feel like I gotta pee all the time. I'm not quite sure. The water makes me want to go to the bathroom. But it's also soothing. But we do need to clean it out. I love the way it flows over that rock right there. Just that soothing sound. Some may say it's soothing. We tried to clean this part out right here and make it, we had it cleaned out and it grew back up. And we wanted to make it like a little waterfall, but we got to really clean all that out. And we got it flowing a lot better. It was really congested right in here. But this one, it flows on down that way out toward the bigger creek, but it don't cross on our part of the property. It goes over here to the big part of the creek, which I'm going to show you right now. So this is the nice creek. I've been in it playing in this creek with my cousin Aaron. We had fun there. Ow, that briar bush hurt. We cleaned off most of this for parking area. And cleaned out most of that. I didn't want to go past the pole because I didn't quite sure know where that water crossed. So the pin is right up there, and the other pin is right down there, That's a pretty long walk, but I'll walk it in a minute. And then we'll show you how long it takes to get from one end to the other. Pretty good walk. We own, I'm not quite sure how far up that way that we own of this big creek, but I know this is part of ours and it goes on across the creek a ways. And I really like to, there's a house up there, like another little shack. And I'd like to see if I could get something like that later on in the future. I know my brother was talking about coming up here and he's wanting to buy some stuff, but he's not quite sure. He wants to be close, but he's not quite sure what land around here is for sale. So we're gonna see if we can look into something like maybe over here or on down the road a ways for him. Here is the creek. And it's pretty wide. Let's see if I can do this without dropping you or falling. Look at that, guys. A little bit congested right in here, but we'll clean it up. Now it gets deeper. It's known to flood in here. But look at that. That is beautiful. If it wasn't congested right in here, all this where I'm standing, it'd be underwater. I've never been this far in the creek. It's usually underwater. And you can see right in there it's congested too. But nice little creek. It gets kind of deep right over in there. I know me and Aaron, we've been back in there a good ways. And we've been hunting for a little bit of fish and whatever might be in here. But this is coming off the creek up the ways where the water park is. Now, see if we can get back out of here. Let's give you another look down there. It looks real good right down through there. Love this water. I love this creek. A little deep right here. It's about maybe almost 11 inches deep, but almost a foot. And then back here, like, that's about 1.5 feet there, and then it gets a little shallow up there where that little bitty waterfall is. But let's see if I can get back out of here without breaking something. So I'll put you in this hand over here so I can use this tree up here to pull myself on back up. I still got it. Ooh, the wind kicked back up, guys. I'm hoping this was a better land tour than the last one. At least you can hear me. And then a lot of people kind of gave up at the beginning of it. I'm gonna put clips of it in there. If you don't want to see it, by all means, skip through it. This is gonna be a little bit of a longer video because it's gonna have 2 land tours in with it, and it's gonna be like the better parts that are the parts that were bad, and then I want to show you where I'm at now. So there are like wild blueberries that grow up through here. All right through here is blueberries all year, or not all year, but every spring. There's blueberry bushes that grow. You got honeysuckles, honeysuckers, honeys. You got those things. But I'm gonna go ahead and take you up there. I'll take you up there where that is, and we'll walk from up there down to here, and we'll see how long it takes. Here's that pin right there. So it goes straight over to that other pin that I showed you earlier, and that's the beginning of it right up here. So we're gonna walk down through there. I'll put you guys on a time lapse. We'll walk all the way down through the road here. See how long it takes. There it is. Right there's the pen. Pretty sure that's it. I know later on we'll come back out and resurvey some stuff. But I'm thinking that's it, and it goes straight back that way. It's a pretty good bit of land. It is 17.8 acres, so almost right at 18 acres. And it's more than enough than what we really need. But it was a good deal. We couldn't really pass it up. The story was we had some property, and we thought somebody was kind of infringing on the property, but they had a view easement, so I couldn't really put nothing on it, and we just came to the arrangement, well, we'll sell it to this person. We sold it to them, got us some money out of the deal, saved up, found this November of 2020. We found it and really didn't think we're gonna get it because it said under contract or pending. So I told Dad, I said, maybe if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Let me get out of the road. So we just waited on it, and one day while we was at work, we was down in the basement, and just sitting down there, and finally it came back just on a hunch. I looked at it again, and it said for sale. I said, I'm gonna jump on this, Dad. I want to tell him, I want to make him an offer. I want to go see it. So we went up here, met the people. They sold it to us for a set amount, and we put all that into it, got this place, and what we thought was a heartbreaking moment from losing one piece of property that we had big plans for was actually a blessing, because we are now here, and this land has the potential to just take us where we want to be on our journey here on YouTube and in our homestead. It's got the water source, it's got the fields that we can use to grow food. It just needs to be the right amendments on it. So, but we're trying to turn something that we thought was a loss into something that is a profit, and it's going to benefit us, and we're going to make this our home. So it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little bit more time. There are some things I wish I would have done different, because I am starting out at this and I didn't know the gates. I wish I would have done what some of you guys have said and just put them in there without the concrete, because some of it's not lined up anymore. I admit it. I made a mistake. I admit my mistakes, but they're still there. Got one up there. We don't really open them much unless we pull the trailer in or pulling in something like that. But now that we got the top part kind of leveled out, we usually come in up there now. So this is more or less to keep. We had some trespassers a while back ago, so more or less to keep trespassers out. So I'm gonna walk up that way this time. Show you this hill where my aunt normally parks. But we are glad that all of that stuff happened. I mean, we could still be up there on the 8 acres, and it really wasn't no buildable land. We'd have took more to put into it, bringing dirt in and all that, just to get it workable, get it buildable. And with the view easement that this person had, I couldn't put a road in within 15 foot of the easement. And where I would had to put the road in, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have. I'd had to build a bunch of bridges, about 2 or 3 bridges just to get there, bringing countless loads of dirt, 100, maybe 120 loads of dirt. Because one load don't go far. But it all worked out. We got this place up here, and we're making it our own. Them squirrels done took the walnuts way down here. Had them a field day up there and brought them some home, I guess. So, here's the view from this way. I'm going to use the same thumbnail from the last one. Don't get too mad at me. I'm going to use the same thumbnail. So, right here is going to be your thumbnail. And only thing different, got the camper and the little outhouse we're working on. And the tree's about gone. Like I said before, I'm a firm believer of a give and a take. I'm taking something away from the land, I'm going to give something back. I took away the tree that's going to be there, but I'm at... darn COVID. Getting over this crap. I took away the tree that was there, but I'm going to put the same type back there. I really want to pay homage to him and what he's done up here. Look at these daffodils, they're already growing. Huh. Had a warm spurt and all of a sudden the daffodils start growing. I'm sure these right through here are daffodils. Up through there are onions. This little row right here was beautiful last spring. It was around March. I had little yellow flowers all the way through the side of this wall right here. It looked beautiful. Still got to clean out a bunch more right in here. There actually used to be an old barn right in here, so maybe when we're cleaning up we'll find old relics of the barn that used to be out here. Robinette had it on the property when he owned it. His parents had like farmland, and most of this land around here was his, as I've been told. I think that's what I've been told. I know my dad knows more about it. It's getting hot. But the barn's set right down in here somewhere, or right back in there. And that's where they kept all their animals, all their meat birds, and maybe they had a cow, I don't know. We're gonna run to the camper right quick, where it's warm, hopefully. And we'll start talking about the history on the property. I'm not quite sure when this was built. I know it's the 1850s maybe, it's mid 1850s to late 1800s. So, I'm not quite sure exactly when, but I know that it's old. It's at least 200 years old. So, need to fix this camper door. So, had a DVD playing earlier. Let me turn the light on for you guys. It is a little toasty in here. Let me take this off for a minute. Wait a minute. I'm gonna set you guys down. It's cool to have this little tripod. Set you guys right here for a minute. Gotta take this off because it's hot in here. Take these papers out, then we'll start going over these papers. Good Lord, my hair's a mess. We'll put the hat back on. It does feel a whole lot better in here. We'll move all this over to the side. Now these papers are something that my neighbor David gave to me. This first one is Spurgeon Robinette at his home place. And I hope you guys can see that. I'll get up for a minute. Let me see if I can focus that in for you. There you go. That's him sitting at his apple tree, and there's his cabin. Alright, and there's this. A glimpse of the past. Mr. and Mrs. Spurgeon Robinette. So that's him and his wife. This isn't the father. This is the son, Allie. And David's wife wrote this. It's a pretty long little thing, but I'm going to try to read it out to you. Hope battery lasts, and I hope everything lasts here. So I'm going to read that to you in a second. I want to go over this right here, this is Allie's death certificate. This right here. It's Allie's death certificate. Tells when he was born, when he died. I'll read that off to you, and what caused his death. Okay, Allie Spurgeon Robinette. Date of death October 28th, 1971. He's from Alexander County, here in Taylorsville. He was widowed, so his wife passed first. Her name was, his mother's name was Mary Robinette. And I've looked on Find a Grave, and I found a Mary Robinette, but I'm not quite sure if it's the same Robinette that mothered Allie. So we'll have to look into that more. It says right here his father's name's unknown. What cause of death was acute myocardial infarction. It's I really can't read this one the way they got it spelled, but it's some kind of, there's a heart disease right here. He had a heart disease, and a lot of it's really written, like handwritten. Can't really read most of it, but let's move on to the next one, which is another certificate of death. Pearlie Louetta Robinette. This was his wife's. So, Pearlie Louetta Robinette, date of death, November 13th, 1962. That was the year my dad was born. So, she went first. She was 81. Let's see how much, did it say how old he was? No, it says his occupation was a farmer. And it don't really say how old. He was 92. So he lived to be 92 years old. And he spent most of his time out here on the front porch of the cabin. He would crack the... Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Walnuts. He would crack those black walnuts on the front porch just every spring. Well, not spring, but every harvest season, which is, they pretty much came to harvest in October. He would sit out there and just crack them, sell them off the front porch here. He made most of his living off the land. He was a farmer by trade. His dad, I heard, was a farmer. So, he grew up in it. So, this one right here, name of the husband, Spurgeon Robinette, where he went by Spurgeon. His name's Allie. Let's see, it's got a father's name. It says Dr. Robinette. Her mother's name was Jane Bumgardner. So, his wife died, Pearlie did, of bronchial pneumonia. So, let's see what else is here. It's what our doctor's name? No, it don't have the... Well, I guess it does. George Givens was the doctor. And this was all signed and confirmed on 11/16/62. So just 3 days after her death. Okay, here's another death certificate. This is for Mary Katherine Robinette. This is Allie's mother. The Mary Robinette that they couldn't really... that I couldn't find a grave to on Find a Grave. It was a different one, but I will look up Mary Katherine Robinette and see if I can find her, and I will go see what hers was. Let's see what this says. She's from Alexander County, Little River Township. Let's see. She was 87 years old, 5 months, and 28 days. Let's see if I can read this. They wrote pretty small, guys. February 15th of 1932. I think that's when the death occurred. So, she died of influenza. So, I guess that pandemic that was going around back then, she died from it. So that was his mom. She was 87 years old. Alright, let's see. This one tells about some of the stuff that they found on... oh, Lord. Okay, I thought there was a staple there. It was just printed off. This is some of the stuff David and his wife have dug up on the Robinettes. It says, here is the information I found on Spurgeon Robinette. It appears that Spurgeon did not have a sister. Spurgeon's mother was Mary Katherine Robinette. The father is listed as unknown. Mary is always listed as single. I numbered the pages so that you can follow along on my research list below. I looked in Nora Robinette Eller's book, and she did not have a record for Mary, but confirmed that Mary was the daughter of James and Caroline Baumgartner Robinette. Mary Katherine's death certificate proves that she is the daughter of James and Caroline. The 1850 census record shows that Mary was born to James and Caroline and was born about 1844. In the 1870 census, Mary, age 26 by that time, was still living at home with James and Caroline and her brothers and sisters. The 1880 census shows Mary, age 36, and Spurgeon, who was just born and 7 months old. She was living with her brother Julius, age 32. It says that Julius is a released convict, so it appears that the two outcasts of the family are living together. You mentioned that you think Spurgeon's father might have been named Brown. So we have a name. It might have been named Brown. Last name, I'm not pretty sure if it's the first name, last name. On the census, a few lines down from Mary is listed Anderson. Anderson Brown. Age 25. He is 4 lines down. He must have lived near Mary. It notes that he is married, but it does not list a wife or family under his name. 1890 census records were lost to a fire in the National Archives. In the 1900 census, Mary, 55, and Allie Spurgeon, 20, are living together. Note on the census, it states that Mary had 1 child, and she has 1 living child. This would be Spurgeon. So, that's talking about his mom and his dad, I guess. The marriage certificate of Spurgeon, 24, and Pearlie, 23. It lists Mary as his mother, and the father is listed as unknown. I think there is a discrepancy on the 1910 census. It shows that Mary had 2 children, one with 1 living, but it shows the same thing for Pearlie. The 1900 census shows that Mary had 1 child and 1 living, and she is 55 years old then. I seriously don't think that Mary had another baby between 1900 and 1910. Not if she's 55 to 65 years old. Mary is buried in Three Forks Baptist Church Cemetery, so that is the same one that I found. Spurgeon's death certificate shows that Mary is his mother and father is still unknown. His son James is the informant. The obituary of Pearlie, 1962, lists some of the family members. Now, this is from Taylorsville Times, Thursday, April 19th, 1973. A Glimpse from the Past by Ann Loudermilk. It's my neighbor. So, Glimpse of the Past by Ann Loudermilk. As I walk down the country lane toward the old home place, I look around me. I see nestled on a hill amidst mountain beauty and a house built before the Civil War. So it was built before the Civil War. So it is dated back before the 1850s, or around that time period. Handed down from generation to generation and filled full of memories, this house is quiet. Allie Spurgeon, Robinette, is gone. Mr. Robinette was my neighbor when I moved to this lovely spot in the Little River section of Alexander County. When summer came along, he shared the vegetables from his garden with us and others. Also, he walked miles to see sick people. Never let anything keep you from visiting the sick, he admonished his children, rain, sleet, or snow. Busy hands are happy hands must have been his motto. In his younger years, he was a sawmiller and a farmer. Even in his 19th year, retirement meant nothing to him. Dawn would find him working, chopping wood, hoeing in the garden, or whatever needed to be done. At the age of 20, Spurgeon Robinette married a young lady by the name of Pearlie Louetta Robinette. They had 4 children together. Cora married Howard Barnes, who retired after serving 23 years with the State Highway Department. James, a present member of the State Highway Department, married Margaret Rogers, a nurse at Alexander County Hospital. Bonnie, a survivor at the Carolina Glove Mill, married a supervisor. I read that wrong. She was a supervisor at the Carolina Glove Mill. She married to E.J. Cavan. Howard works with the State Highway Department also, and is married to the former Delcy Steele, one great-grandson. Roger Dale Ray served in the Vietnam War. Mr. Robinette had an uncanny perception about people. If he said a person was a good man, you could depend on it. If he said otherwise, you could believe that too. Once he told one of my neighbors, she is a wheel horse of a talker. I cannot deny it. He loved to hunt. Often I would see him pass my house carrying his shotgun with Blackie, his little squirrel dog, on his heels. If you happened to stop by his home later, a pot would be bubbling on the old stove with his catch for that day. He was born on October 18th, 1879. Every year, friends and relatives would gather together to celebrate his birthday. A large table would be spread with delicious food beneath the old apple tree. Cakes, pies were his delight. Pearlie preceded him in death by 10 years. So great was his love for the place where he was born that he reared that he never wanted to leave. So under the watchful care of his devoted children, he lived at the home until a few months before his death. So he didn't live here when he died. He was took somewhere else, I guess. When he died on October 28, 1971, he was 92 years old. He was laid to rest beside his wife in the Three Forks Church Cemetery. I no longer see the smoke swirling from the chimney, nor the light from his window. Yes, it is still Spurgeon. Yes, it is still Spurgeon is gone. So, that's all the papers that they gave me. And I just find that remarkable that he's sitting right there, and it's just amazing. I love learning the history on places like this. And I'm going to try to dig up as much more history as I can on this place for you guys. And we now know that it was built before the Civil War. So this house is over, let's see, 1850, 1950. It's almost 150 years old. Or not even that, not 150 years old. It's over 100 years old. This house has stood the test of time. This cabin has. And we're going to try to, as best we can, to keep this. We're going to try. I can't speak. We're going to try the best we can to refurbish this house, this cabin actually, and keep this here as a piece of history, and it'll be our history too. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it was a longer video, and I gave you a little bit of history on the property and some of the people that owned it. And you like what you've seen today about the land tour. I know it's a whole lot better than what it was. On the last one, I couldn't really speak that well. The GoPro footage was horrible. I admit it, guys. It was just a train wreck of a beginning of a video. And I know someone said, you just showed somebody how not to make a video. Yeah, but I was just starting with this up here, and I done that video in a rush. I shouldn't have. I should have took my time with it, but I was excited about having this 17 acres and this cabin and all the stuff that we can do here. So I do hope you guys enjoyed all this land tour, the better revamped version. A year later, a lot of things have changed. We're clearing out a lot of stuff. We're putting a lot more stuff into the land. If we all wouldn't have got sick this past week, there would have been a good many more videos. I hate that we didn't get to put out as many as I wanted to. I wanted at least 3 or 4 videos last week, or actually the week before. It's been 2 weeks, and it's still, the remnants is still there. Still got a little cough and all that, but we're all doing fine. We're all doing great. My uncle, right now he's got it, and his family's dealing with it, but he didn't catch it from us. My aunt, luckily, she's doing great. She's got a few videos that'll be coming out. Go check out her channel. It's In the Kitchen with Julie. Go show them awesome support. I will catch all of you guys on the next video. It will be maybe a question and answer video. And yes, you heard right in that last video. We are going to be doing a giveaway. It's going to be hopefully 2, maybe 3 gift cards. I'm not quite sure just yet, because I'm not getting paid for COVID leave. Yeah, I know, sucks. I mean, they stopped the pay. I don't know why, but they stopped it. So when I get back, I got to struggle just to get stuff going. So hopefully this video does well. I hope you guys smash that like rhythm. Let's get that YouTube algorithm working for us. And while you're down there, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It doesn't cost you nothing. Subscribing's free. So the more subscribers we get, the more we can do up here, and the more that we can do is with the light or not, we can start working on it. I'm thinking about building it up better. We got a lot of stuff coming up, but do subscribe if you want to be part of that giveaway that's coming up soon. So let's see if we can get some subscribers up, see if we can get some likes up on the video that we post about it, and then we'll do a live video chat, and we'll go and pull out a random comment pick and just see who wins. So we're going to be our first live video. It'll be in about a month or 2, maybe a month and a half, because we got to get everything sorted back out with the company that I work for. Don't want to give out no COVID pay. Yeah, I know, but we'll get there. So let's see if this video can do amazing like the last one did. That video is up to almost 100,000 views. So, and 2,000 something likes. It went kind of viral overnight. Let's see if we can get this one to go. It's going to be about the same thing. It's going to be better. I think it is. So stay tuned for more upcoming content. We do thank you guys for subscribing and getting us, making our day. Let's see if we can just keep getting it just keep this train rolling. And hopefully we can get up here full time when we hit maybe 10,000 subscribers. We'll catch all of you guys on the next one. Y'all have a nice one. Bye.